Welcome, everybody. It is the Going On Daily Live morning show. I'm your host, Ron Rigo, and my co-host today is Martin Blanco.
Is it?
How are you
Is it?
today?
I'm fine. Happy
Yes.
New Year, Ron.
How are you? Happy New Year.
I'm good. I'm great. I'm great.
Look, we have a great show today. And, yes, I say that every time because
Right.
usually it is a great show. But today it is really going to be great because once Kenny jumps on today, he is not going to be happy with my top five, and I am excited for this.
Kenny really is the
Excited.
secret sauce. Kenny's reactions to you and
Oh,
your
yeah.
that's the magic, I think. Yeah.
So at some point when he's watching, he's going to type in the comments disrespectful. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. It's going to happen. Look, we are been what? It's 119 episodes last year. And I do believe I don't know if I changed it. I did. Okay, The Lion Sleeps Tonight is the title of today's episode.
Okay.
And let me tell you, like always, it has something to do with the show, so you got to stick around for that. You'll know it when you hear it. Believe me.
A Wimbo. Stop that. A
Love
Wimbo.
that
Stop
song.
that. Yeah, it's a great song.
Love that
Great
song.
song. Oh yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
But look, you can watch us on many different platforms, including and not limited to Facebook at RI Broadcasting. Look, it's so simple. You just click that little follow button. And if you really love us, send some stars our way. You gotta keep all the hosts happy. So me, I'm okay, but we gotta keep guys like Martin and Kenny and Ira, and of course the goat Becky, who's probably watching out there because she's already been chiming in the group chat. So she's out there. She's got to be watching. And you can also watch us on YouTube at Rhode Island Broadcasting. So click that subscribe button and don't forget the bell so that way you don't miss an episode. You don't miss it. Even if you're waking up at 7 in the morning, on the West Coast, you want to know when we're on. So got to do that. And of course, Twitch. RI_broadcasting, where you can find us on Twitch. You can help the show by first subscribing. That helps.
Yes.
Following is always great. Subscribing is better. Okay. And you can also throw some bits our way. Each bit is a penny. So I'm sure you can do a penny. Even if you do just one bit. Right? You can also support the show on Patreon at Rhode Island Broadcasting. It's a great way to get some merch, like my little mug here. Wonderful mug. I love it. Got my orange juice. No added.
Oh, nice. Fresh squeezed.
Sure.
Yeah.
Freshly squeezed out of a plastic bottle.
Whatever you say.
Real oranges. Come on. So do that. Follow the show. We're also, on TikTok, Instagram, MeWe. It's another social platform, social network platform that people go on, talk, and do all kinds of stuff, right? So do that and enjoy the show because this is going to be a good one. Now that we get that out of the way, Martin.
On to business.
Down to business, right? And our first topic is kind of a scary one, I guess. Out of Africa. This story comes out of Africa.
Okay.
All right. So there was a little boy, Tinotenda Pudu. Hey, that's pretty good. I actually think I nailed that.
Good pronunciation. Absolutely.
He's an 8-year-old in Zimbabwe, I'm guessing. So he leaves his house in the morning, which I don't understand why an 8-year-old is leaving his house on his own. I don't know. I'm not the parent.
Different different customs, I
Okay.
suppose. Different
Yeah.
mores on the
Yeah.
continent. Yeah. All right.
So he leaves. So Marty leaves his house, right?
Mhm.
Walks down the wrong path.
Uh-oh. What could go wrong?
Yeah, what could
What
go
could
wrong,
go
right?
wrong? Okay.
So I'll tell you what went wrong. He took a wrong turn, of course, and he went 14 miles out of the way. 14 miles. How do you make a go 14 miles by mistake?
It begs the question, not so much what was he doing out on his own, where was he what did he have to do that had to be at least 14 miles away from home? I'm
Right. So
okay.
Martin, he took a wrong turn and he ended up in the Zimbabwe Matusadona National Park. It's a
Okay.
game park. And you know what game is, right?
Yes, I do.
So lions, elephants, hippos, water buck. There's water there, so I'm guessing crocodiles, hyenas, leopards, maybe a cheetah.
It is no place for anyone to be
No,
unprotected, let alone
no,
an 8-year-old boy, which I'm
no.
sure and this isn't gonna end well, is it? But I'm sure he looked delicious. I don't know. This is terrible.
It's dinner time, right?
Oh,
Dinner
man.
time. Well, it didn't end badly.
Okay. Amen.
He got lost.
Mhm.
He spent 5 days in this park.
Wow.
And
Wow.
let me tell you, this was known as the highest density of lions in Africa.
Hmm.
Lots of lions, right? Lots of lions. So 5 days later, a park ranger jeep drives by. So he tries to catch up to it. He could not. And then I guess he scampered back to wherever he was hiding.
Oh gosh.
And then another park ranger drove by later on, saw the little footprints, and they rescued him.
That is fantastic.
Can you believe it? An 8-year-old survived 8 days surrounded by lions.
In the game park.
Lions everywhere.
Listen, and that look, lions, crocodiles, hippos, insects. There's a lot of things
Oh,
that want
yeah.
to eat you out there. It's and he's the
Yep.
right size to be,
Oh, absolutely.
to be an easy meal. I mean, that's
Yeah.
something. So did they when talking with him, was he able to share? Did he figure out how he managed to survive 8 days? Did anyone
No,
have
they
any
didn't say
perspective on
about
it?
anything like that. I guess the parent decided that she wasn't really going to let people talk to him because
Good.
what he
Wise,
endured.
wise. Hmm.
So, but she posted it all over X,
Huh.
Twitter.
Well, it's an intriguing story, and I'm glad it ends happy.
Yeah.
Um, Now she posted it on X.
Yeah.
I'm not deliberately being I don't want to be deliberately
Oh,
rude, but
y-
is there any other confirming evidence that this actually happened now?
well, the park ranger did pick him up.
Okay. All right. Well, there's something.
So, I mean, I guess they were looking for him for quite a while.
Hmm.
I'm assuming, and you should never assume. But I will do that in this case. I'm guessing at some point during the night they realized that he was gone.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing. Just guessing.
Awful quiet
They didn't
around
really
here.
have they didn't have a whole lot of information on what happened. It's
Hmm.
just that he took a wrong turn out of
Yeah.
his house.
Sure.
And then 14 miles later,
Well,
but he didn't die. That's a
no,
good
no.
thing, right?
There's all sorts of things. He needed water. He's gone for that. He needed water. Probably needed food. Maybe could have gotten by with that food. Definitely needed water. Definitely needed to not become something else's dinner in hostile
Right.
territory. That would be, if details emerge, that could make for an interesting movie. Um,
Absolutely. I mean, you look at this guy right here licking his chops.
yeah, yeah. Ah, please.
I think that was the lion that was watching him climb a tree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lions can climb, but not very well, so they're not going to make it very high.
Sure. Some of the
And
other
the kid's
cats.
only 8. He probably went to the tippity top of a tree
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
stayed there until.
Uh, Good for him. I mean, and I'm certainly sorry he made that wrong turn. But amazing that he survived, and whatever he did to figure it out, got a little lucky, certainly. But
Yeah.
that's the way
Oh,
we like to see these
a
things end.
little lucky?
Yeah, very lucky. Yeah.
Very lucky.
A few
Well,
things
this is
broke
what
his way.
happens when you take a wrong turn at Albuquerque.
Right. I know what you're referring to. I think we made a wrong turn in Albuquerque.
you know, it's hey, somebody was with him that day that made him survive. So
Yes. Yes.
you know, he should be thanking his guardian angel or whatever powers may be that he
Hmm.
wasn't eaten.
Yeah, for sure.
And an
That
8-year
is
old boy, it's like one gulp, right? If
yeah.
you're thirsty and you go by the water hole, it's like over in seconds.
Yeah. Yeah. On Look, I've seen enough National Geographic and PBS
Yup.
specials to know what happens. I've often
Yup.
said I my heart bleeds for the zebras because on more than one documentary, you see them crossing, you know, well, before they're crossing a river, they're like running away from the lions. And maybe you watch a
Yeah.
sequence and there's one that's being hunted and it gets lucky and it escapes the lions. And then it goes with the pack through the river, only
Yeah.
to be eaten by an alligator. I'm like, there is,
Yeah.
what hope
Right.
to be a zebra?
Yeah, it's not good.
No,
Like, it's really not fair to zebra
no.
and like those water buffalo and the gazelles.
Yeah, it
Not
never
fair.
stops. It never stops. You know.
You just gotta hope that you survive and you're not the one to get picked out of it.
Well, that's it. There's the herd mentality, and that's why herds work because you can't protect them all, but you can protect many, and
Yeah.
you know
Yeah,
that's nature.
absolutely. So
That's nature.
so at least it ended in a good story, and that's what
Absolutely.
matters. Because it doesn't always end like that.
No, no, I like that. I thought it was going like this can't be going anyplace good. So I'm happy to see that. We'll see
Yeah.
what else we hear from the family in Zimbabwe over the ensuing weeks. Maybe
Yeah, I gotta
a
find out
little
what the
more.
Twitter handle is
Yeah,
because mom will post everything apparently.
yeah, clearly, clearly. And,
Oh man. Oh, can't laugh and drink and talk at the same time.
that's all right.
All right, so there we go. See, you get stories like this.
That's a
It
good one.
it is. It's a real good one. They're not all happy though, but today I don't think it's going to be any terrible news. I don't think today,
Well,
right?
no, not terrible news, but we'll see where we go. Well, we'll see where we go. We'll see.
Yeah, it might be bad for maybe Kenny. That's about it.
Okay, poor Kenny.
All right,
Disrespectful.
so let's go on to Disney.
Okay, it's a good
Yeah,
transition. It's a good.
yeah, like Martin's approach to Disney World,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
Now, I'm guessing you're going to tell us what to do when
Yes,
you go.
and a lot of what I'm going to say, not all, but a lot, is going to be centered around Disney's Animal Kingdom Park and Lodge. So it's a nice
Yes,
segue to the
it
animal
is.
story. Let me say, just to start off, in light of your story, I once had a notion that's humorous but a little twisted. They keep wonderful savannas in zoos, both at the Animal Kingdom Park and the hotel, the Animal Kingdom Lodge, where
Yes.
African animals are roaming free. They do not keep. They have lions, but they will not have lions be with the other animals. In the savannah, Kilimanjaro safaris, it may look like they're generally part of the overall savannah, but they are isolated. They're not going anywhere. But I thought it would be funny if the giraffes at all of these savannas have now grown without having to worry about being attacked or chased by lions and whatnot.
Right.
And I thought, wouldn't it be funny just for once to go take a lion, give it look, make sure it's well fed and give it some sedatives, okay? And then just let it out. So it's not going to be harmful to anything. It just can't be. We're going to let it out among the giraffes because the giraffes think they've got it going on and they're fine. And all of a
Oh my
sudden,
God.
he's going to lie, put it there for a half hour. I just was kind of curious to see what what the giraffes do. But of course, that's never going to happen. But I just thought that would be, and the zebras too. I thought that would be amusing. But having said all
You
that,
know,
yeah.
now giraffes use their neck, right, to protect themselves. Don't they like
The
swing
neck is
their neck?
primarily to feed. Their legs can kick a lion, and they can defend themselves against lions with legs. That said, they're still vulnerable. But a kick from a giraffe will do a lot of damage to a lion and a human being. Where there's no animus between humans and giraffes per se. But if you get kicked by one, it's not going to be pretty. So that's their primary defense.
No, I
Those leg
guess,
kicks.
yeah.
Yeah,
I see. I
yeah.
would have thought they use their head
I mean,
with
maybe,
their
maybe
neck.
they do, but I'm not from, and I admit it's limited, but from my reading and experience from doing some giraffe experiences here and there, their legs are their primary thing. But that boy, their neck is and their tongue are incredible instruments for feeding. But and that again, that will lead nicely to things to do in Disney World. I love Disney World, and even though I'm 61 years old. I'll go every year, at least once a year. I can't get enough of the parks. And I'll say while the rides are great fun and I love them, there's lots of other things I love to do more. It's these other things in addition to the rides that keeps me coming back. And a lot of this is it centers around the Animal Kingdom Park, where
Yeah, I
so
would
if you
love that.
yeah. So if you're going and you have not going to Disney World, and you have not been to the Nomad Lounge. It is a wonderful indoor and outdoor bar restaurant in Disney's Animal Kingdom Park, located not too far from where the why am I blanking on this? Not terribly far from the Pandora part of the park is, but you're on the outdoor part of the restaurant is covered. So if it's super hot or if there's torrential rainstorms, you are fully protected. You have a wonderful view of a little waterway that's going by, and you feel
Hmm.
like you're 1,000 miles away from everything, and you're nice and protected. It's not super crowded there, and the chairs are very comfortable, and they serve the best cocktails, regular
Oh, well, I'm
cocktails.
in.
Oh yeah,
I'm in.
regular cocktails,
Yeah.
non-alcoholic cocktails, if you like. The best coffee service. The coffee is so good. I'm not a coffee drinker. Tea, beers. They have a menu. It's a limited menu, but there's everything is delicious, and you can just sit there and hang out and chill. And if there's a bad rainstorm, you can watch the storm go by. You can take a break. You can plan out the rest of your day. You can go and just get a nice buzz going and
There
chill
we go.
out on good food and good beverages. And there's also an indoor part too, where you don't get to people watch as much, but it's a beautiful bar. And there's a high-end restaurant on the other side of it. It's called Tiffin's. It's expensive, but the food is excellent, and there is magnificent artwork all over both spaces. So if you have not been to the Nomad Lounge on your next trip, particularly if you want some adult time, let's say maybe you're not going with the kids, or the kids are old enough they can do a couple of rides on their own. You go and take some nice adult time and chill out at the Nomad Lounge. You will not regret it. So there you go.
That sounds pretty neat.
It is.
Um, so so they have, okay, the Animal Kingdom.
Mhm.
Um, what else is new there lately?
At Disney. Well,
Yeah.
last year they finished a lot of not expansions but reimagining of Epcot. And so for people who know the Epcot park from decades ago, or even just pre-pandemic, the water fountain is gone, but they replaced it with there's a building that has some food, and there's places to sit. There's some nice landscaping. I don't think the refurb was fully materialized because of complications from the pandemic. I don't think they
Right.
did everything they wanted to. It just looks nice and it's different. There is an exhibit called Moana's like World of Water that's new, and it's a walkthrough exhibit. It's beautifully landscaped. It's very imaginative.
Mm.
You don't have to wait on. It may be crowded, but it moves around. You don't need a fast pass, and you don't have to wait hours to do it. And for adults, it's very interesting. It talks about the water cycle, but it's landscaped in a very imaginative way. For kids, it's great fun, and there's all sorts of things there with water spouts and giant sculptures from plants, and it's worth doing. So that's new, and I mean, new relatively speaking. If you haven't been in a decade, if you go to Disney's Hollywood Studios, the Galaxy's Edge, if you're a Star Wars fan, it's magnificent. Just to walk through, you feel like you're in these areas from the Star Wars
Yeah.
film that you love. But the
Yeah.
rides are
When
great.
I went there last, that wasn't there yet.
Yeah. Well, if you're a Star
Been a
Wars
while.
enthusiast, you can ride the Millennium Falcon. It's great fun. And then it's a ride, but it's an experience called this is what happens when you turn 60. Your brain forgets names of things. The Rise of the Resistance is 3 parts to this, and you sort of get sucked up into this adventure where you're part of the resistance and you have to make a mad escape. And they
Yeah.
sort of they run you into this craft. You take off, you get thrown back, and next thing you know, you get captured by the First Order, and
Right.
you go out and you're there. All the stormtroopers are there, and you're like, "Oh my god!" And you're a prisoner for a little bit. And then they put you in a prison room, and then someone breaks you out, and then a chase ensues, and you're in a different vehicle. And it's great
That's
fun. It's
pretty neat.
spectacular. Yeah, the whole thing's about 20 minutes long, and
You
it's so
almost
much
feel like you're
fun.
part of the movie.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. I mean, it's not a passive experience at all. So that's new. By the way, the food in Galaxy's Edge is kind of good too. They have, all there. There's a place called Oga's Cantina, and it looks a lot like the bar in the original Star Wars movie. And
Yeah.
the drinks are good. They have the blue milk. You can have it alcoholic or non-alcoholic. It's tremendous fun. Now, for everything at Disney, you got to if you're going at a crowded time, which is most of the time, there's going to be a wait. You might have to make a reservation. You might even have to pay a little extra to get a reservation on this. But if you don't go regularly, and this is like your once every 5 years, spend a little extra money. You'll be glad that you did. You'll have a lot of fun. For all
There you
Star
go.
Wars enthusiasts. Now, back at the Animal Kingdom, they have a ride there called Kilimanjaro Safaris. It's a 20-minute simulation of an African safari. You're out in the savannah. Every experience
Wow.
is unique. I do this at least 5 times whenever I go to Disney World. Sometimes I'll do 3 in a day. I'll do 10 during my trip. It is wonderful, and there's all kinds of animals. From African elephants, there are lions, there are cheetahs, there are rhinos, there are hippos. It is absolutely wonderful. But they also have sort of extended safaris. You pay for this, but you sort of trek with people from Disney on foot and in a special jeep through certain parts of that savannah, and then they serve you an absolutely delicious lunch, and you're there looking at the giraffes running all over the place, and the zebra and the wildebeests and the ankali. That's a lot of fun. It costs probably $150 to $200, so it is expensive. But again, if this is like you want to treat yourself once, and you're not going with a family of 8, let's say it's you and your companion, it's worth doing. It's about 3 hours long. You will be
Wow.
on a rope bridge walking over a pit of crocodiles. I mean, alligators. You're safe. They have things in place but you'll spend a
Mhm.
lot of time in the savannah. You'll get some wonderful
There'll be
pictures.
that one accident.
Yes. No, no, no. Even you. No, no, there's not, because I'm accident prone too. You're perfectly safe. You'll get to see the elephants more. It's just wonderful, and you get a great meal. And having said that, at the Animal Kingdom Lodge, sometimes when I'm at Disney, I like to go visit the different resorts. I'm not even going to the parks. At the Animal Kingdom Lodge, go visit. There's 3 restaurants that have outstanding food, outstanding, hands down, and distinctive. Um, but there's also savannas there with animals that you can go and watch to your heart's content. And also in the hotels, they have 2 there, Jumbo House and Kidani Village. They have an extraordinary collection of authentic artwork from the continent of Africa, all different countries. It
Yeah.
fills every floor with stuff. You could spend a
Wow.
day looking. So if you're interested in that,
Just looking
that's
at all of
free.
that stuff.
Yeah, yeah, that doesn't cost you anything. So you can go to the Animal Kingdom Lodge, have yourself an excellent lunch or dinner. Go look at the artwork for a couple of hours. Go look at the animals on the savannah, and then go to the bar. Go to Victoria Falls Bar. Have yourself a nice cocktail. And
Maybe
you had a
you
great
might even
day.
see Tenda Poodoo there.
Maybe, yes, you might.
Could be
That,
lost in there somewhere.
they should give him a trip to to Disney.
They should. A little
You know,
safer.
and, right. Although the poor guy, he might, as he's in the savannah, if he does that, it'll be like,
We'll have flashbacks.
trigger him. Like, no, no, let's hope not. But
PTSD for the
that's
little
another
boy.
thing. Um, for people who like boat rides, and my wife loves boat
Oh,
rides, and we don't have a boat. So let's say you love boat rides and you don't have a boat. You go to Disney World, take boat rides all day long, all day long. They have these wonderful boats over by the Magic Kingdom at the resorts there. Some are on the large side, big ships. Others kind of small, swanky. They look like rich people, private little boats to tool around. Let's say you know Hyannis or Martha's Vineyard or Nantucket, and you could ride these. They're there to take you from the hotels, from the Grand Floridian and the Polynesian to the Magic Kingdom or to the Contemporary. But you could ride these all day and just go from the different hotels, stop off maybe at the Polynesian and go get yourself a nice drink or a nice meal, and or order up your food ahead of time from one of the restaurants at the Polynesian. Take the boat from the Magic Kingdom, get there, your food's ready, and you eat outdoors, and you feel like you're in Hawaii. There are also wonderful boats that go through Disney Springs. That's the restaurant, the dining, and the shopping area there. And there are boats that will take you to the old Key West Resort or the Saratoga Springs Resort or the Port Orleans Resort. Take that boat ride and then
it's
go.
like a city.
Yeah, yeah. It absolutely is. And once you're on those boats, they bring you to places where there's superb food and drink. The boat rides are free. Yeah, and you can do that all day. Sometimes it sounds kind of nerdy. Sometimes I'll be in a boat, I'll be with myself, I'll be with my wife, and I'll be reading a book. And then, we'll take our boat ride and then go enjoy some outstanding cocktails
You just
one of
stay on
those
the boat
restaurants.
and just go
Yeah,
wherever.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So, that's
That's
something
nice.
people
I
don't
like
think of.
that.
Yeah, and that doesn't cost you anything. And I mean, I could talk for 2 hours about Disney, but if you're there, don't overlook the wonderful landscaping, the botanicals in every park, in every hotel.
Mm,
Fascinating. And around holiday time, certainly Christmas holidays, winter holidays, that's even plus more during certain festivals during the year. At Epcot, they have wonderful topiaries. You can enjoy yourself just looking at the landscaping. It's like going to, for those who like garden shows and flower shows, you've got an
right.
ongoing one at 4 different parks and all the hotels. But also the architecture. And the architecture is interesting. It's somewhat theatrical because a lot of it is artifice in the parks. It looks a certain way on the facade. But it's still interesting. But also the architecture and design of the hotels. All of these resorts are themed to look a certain way, and some of them have been designed by the outstanding architects of our time, like Robert A.M. Stern, who designed many of the Epcot resorts. So if that's your jam, that's a nice thing to do as well. And wherever you go, there is always going to be an excellent restaurant and an excellent bar. Very, very high end, very unique, very distinctive. So you
Right.
can really have a vacation outside of making yourself crazy at the parks. Having said that, parks are fun, the rides are fun, but you can also enjoy many other sort of
There's
relaxing.
lots of
Yeah,
things.
yeah. And I'm
They
going in a
generally
couple.
have something for everyone's taste.
Absolutely. Even if
So
if you
whatever
hate
you
Mickey
like,
Mouse,
there's going to
yeah,
be something there.
absolutely. You don't like Disney cartoons, you don't like fine. There's going to be something for you to do there. Maybe you like high end tequila, or
What if you don't like people?
if you don't like people, huh? If you don't like people, it's tough, but there are little nooks and crannies where you can go to, believe it or not, in the hotel resorts and in the parks where you don't have to see people. You can just sit down and enjoy yourself. But I will say, if by generally speaking, if you don't like people, you might get triggered there a couple times, but there are places to go a little bit. So, so
I'll
these
tell
are
you,
all these are things.
Orlando has an interesting nightlife too.
It does. And
Interesting.
Orlando's not right there. Orlando's maybe 15 minutes away, but it's robust, it's vibrant.
Right.
There's music, there's sports, there's clubs.
Oh yeah, there's
There's
clubs.
there's a lot to take in. So don't ignore that too.
Boy,
But
do I have a story about a
um,
little bar fight.
oh yes, go on.
You've ever been well, you ever see them bar brawls in movies?
Yeah, sure.
I was part of one
Wait, for a real
in
bar brawl or in a
Orlando.
movie in Orlando? You went to bar brawl? What happened? Go on.
Well, the idiot guy that I worked with, and we all hung out, during our time off. Um, he hit on a bouncer's girlfriend.
No, okay.
That was not a good
Not
choice.
not a wise choice. Not a wise
No,
choice.
no. So one thing led to another. Then by the time we hear sirens, we were crawling out of there, literally crawling out of there on our hands and knees,
Oh my
getting out
god.
of there and bolting.
Wow. Never to go
It was,
like
it was quite something.
if you were to go
It was,
back next week, would they be like, you? Get it? No. We know what you
no,
did
that would
last.
be Roy,
That
my
would be
buddy Roy. Yeah, it wasn't the brightest bulb on the tree.
okay. Well, my wife and I have an agreement. No bouncers' girlfriends. I can hit on whomever, but no bouncers.
Yeah. That's always a bad thing because uh, back then bouncers were bouncers.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
Sure.
weren't these little twigs that that you see now. They have these bouncers now have degrees and all this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
then it was just the biggest massive guys that you
Right.
could
Yeah.
find.
Yeah. And you're out. Yeah.
So
Goodness.
yeah,
That's funny.
it was a fun night. Let me tell
Listen,
you.
there have been brawls like that in recent years in Disney World, either sometimes in the park, sometimes in Disney Springs, where there's a lot of
Yeah.
the clubs, bars, restaurant,
Yep.
where spirits are high, alcohol is flowing, testosterone is everywhere. And yeah, so Orlando.
Yeah. Yep. It
Well,
happens. It happens everywhere.
Well, if you're going, or if you think you're going, keep your mind open to some of these other things that are not necessarily mainstream Disney. Some of them are free, some cost some money, but you'll have a wonderful time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So moving on, Martin, you
Yeah.
have a story of Mac the Knife, the Ballad
Oh
of
yeah.
Mac the Knife.
Yeah. I was so
Now
excited.
I put Bobby Darin there.
There you go.
I love that version. But
Sure.
you're gonna tell us a little more about this whole thing.
Yeah. I was delighted. I was watching your show with Becky where you did the Billboard, the final top 20. And
Yes.
I was astounded that Bobby Darin's Ballad of Mac the Knife was in the top 20. Not that it would have made the list of 100, because that was a popular song, but for
Yes.
that to be in the top 20
I believe
speaks
it
a
was
lot
number
to
2, wasn't it?
it was up there. Yeah, it may
And
have
then
been in the
some
top
crap
5.
song from The Weeknd was number
Yeah.
1.
I mean, that blew me away. Now, here's the thing. Bobby Darin's version is great. It's upbeat, it's fun, it's
Yeah.
iconic.
There's a
Uh,
lot of versions.
Yeah, the song comes from this German ballad opera from the 1930s by Kurt Weill and Bertolt Brecht, the Three Penny Opera, originally written in German. There was a well-received production in the United States after its debut in New York, with a translation by Mark Blitzstein. And I think Bobby Darin it was a popular production, and he got the impetus to record the song based on that
Right.
translation.
Yep.
Okay, that's fine. When I was a kid in New York, at the New York Shakespeare Festival, they did a production of Three Penny Opera with a different translation, probably more true to the spirit to the original German and much
Right.
darker. That was my introduction to the song, and my mother knew the Bobby Darin song, so whatever she took me to see this thing. She was expecting the Bobby Darin song, and it is a ballad opera about criminals, gang warfare, prostitution, murder, extortion, and rape. And so
Mm,
mom was surprised, and I could tell you,
a
like,
little bit.
yeah, 12-year-old Martin was loving it because the music is excellent. Look, we like the Ballad Macbeth. It's a great tune. All the music from this ballad opera is really excellent. And I grew up. My mom loved operetta, musical theater, and leaned heavily into the tenderness and the romance of this. As a kid, and as a kid who wanted really nothing more at that time in my life than to play stickball or baseball, I was, I did not share my mom's enthusiasm for this, and my eyes would roll. I'm like, so I'm watching the Three Penny Opera, and I'm like, now this is real life. This is grit, and I'm looking at my mother's form of entertainment, but infused with all this dark side of life. So,
Mm,
any rate, when this thing when you guys had mentioned this, all the memories of my affection for the Three Penny Opera came up, and some interesting things about the Ballad of Mac the Knife. Okay, it came from a German ballad opera. Terrific. Uh, in this, in the late 20th century, an album was produced where rock and jazz artists recorded music by Kurt Weill and Bertolt Brecht, a couple of songs from the Three Penny Opera, and Sting recorded the Ballad of Mac the Knife. It's also a great recording. I put it up against Bobby Darin's.
Sting's
It's upbeat,
fantastic.
it's fun. He's excellent. The lyrics are darker, full
Yeah.
stop. But it's great. From the strength of that album, some Broadway producers decided to launch a revival of Three Penny Opera on Broadway, starring Sting. And for whatever
Mm,
reason, I did not get to see it. I was very disappointed. But I do know, I don't think it was quite the hit they'd hoped it would be. And one of the interesting things is Sting played the lead role of Mac the Knife. Mac the Knife does not sing the song, the Ballad of Mac the Knife. So,
no.
Sting was performing and singing other songs. I'm sure doing quite well, but he doesn't get to sing the song that sort of wanted everyone
Right.
to sort of do this. But it's, if you have a chance to listen to that album, it's called Lost in the Stars. It has a lot of wonderful
Lost.
music by Kurt Weill and Bertolt Brecht, including Sting singing Ballad of Mac the Knife. But it does lead me now tangentially to my other subject, is how opera, somewhat esoteric form of entertainment,
It
invades our pop culture all the time. And
does.
Bobby Darin singing the Ballad of Mac the Knife is an example of that. Kurt Weill, Bertolt Brecht wrote another full opera called The Rise and Fall of the City of Mahagoni. And there is a song from that opera that everyone who likes rock music from the 70s knows. And I won a lot of bar bets on on this subject. I'm like, so there's a song called the Alabama Song recorded by the Doors. Are you familiar with it?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, show us the way to the
Yep.
next whiskey bar. Well, that's from the opera, The Rise and Fall of the City of Mahagoni. And I've won more bets by saying, the Doors didn't write that. That comes from an opera. And, my peers hostile to opera said, no fucking way. No way. No way. No way. You're lying. And I'd win bets. And then they're like, well, now you've ruined the Doors for me. Thank you very much. But it's a good song. And the
Well,
Doors knew
see,
it
this
was a
is the
good song.
problem.
Yeah.
People are so close-minded that they don't understand what's the earliest forms of music,
Yeah.
classical and opera, right? Those
Well,
are
for what, I mean,
pretty
they're
much
the
where
basis.
most stuff comes from.
Yeah. Of Western music for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, it doesn't. They like we talked about this before. There's so much opera and classical music in movies and TV. People don't even know that they like it.
Listen,
They don't know,
if you like Bugs Bunny, there's probably half a dozen operas that you're familiar with and you like,
right? Same
and
thing. Tom
for
and
good reason.
Jerry,
Yeah, yeah,
loaded with it.
yeah. Oh yeah, and it's good music. And look, Kurt Weill's 20th century composer. He loved jazz. Is leaning into the popular, musical mores of the time. And rock artists, particularly, the men and women of the 70s had that access to these other music forms, and they informed their childhoods, and they lean into what they liked and what was good. So it's all connected, and it's there for us to enjoy,
It
and that's
is.
it. But when it was a nice moment for me, because I hadn't listened to Three Penny Opera in a while, and for later on in the day. I won't say I took out my album, but I streamed it. I streamed the music
Yeah.
from the production that I liked and grew up with.
It's
And it was
too
really
bad the
cool.
production didn't do well with Sting. You would think that it would.
It
I
did well
mean,
enough. It did well enough, but I think there was a little disappointment, at least from the financial end. But yeah,
yeah. I mean,
he
it's like
definitely.
he's so creative too
Yeah,
with
yeah,
his music. Um,
yes,
I think he's really really original with his music,
yes, he is.
and
Oh,
it is all influenced by what he liked growing up.
yeah, the music of his community. Yeah, some folk songs yeah,
Yeah,
and he's a fine singer, and he's a compelling figure on stage too. So all of that sort of
absolutely.
lines up well. I
Yeah.
worked with a guy who was Sting's understudy. He won't remember me, but this is decades ago. His name was Michael Piontek, and I said, "Oh, how cool was that? That you were Sting's understudy?" He goes, "Let me tell you how cool it was. Okay, picture this. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Three Penny Opera. Today, the role of Mac the Knife, normally performed by Sting, will be played by Michael Piontek, and then you got to go on a stage." And everyone is hating you right from the right from
Yeah.
the get-go by virtue of not being Sting. But still, it was a good gig. All right, it was a good gig.
As long as the music is still good,
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter who sings it.
Oh,
If it's
for sure.
good,
No, no, no.
it's
That's
good.
true. That's true. But if you wanted to see Sting, like if you wanted to see Daniel Radcliffe, all the Harry Potter fans, and How to Succeed Mr.
Yeah, when you're
Frankenstein,
expecting something
yeah,
and you get something
yeah.
else.
You're not happy. Either way, it was fun. You guys had a great show, and I was very happy to have Three Penny Opera on my mind.
There we go. See,
Yeah,
we talk about everything on this show,
yeah,
and even some of the topics lead into other conversations, and
yeah,
that's what I love about doing this. And that's what I love about this show because we're all from different places and we all see different things. And
absolutely.
and I remember you said, "I'm not sure if I'm a good fit for this."
I'm not sure.
I
Yeah,
remember that,
yeah. I
and I'm
warned you.
like, "Yep,
I warned
you
you.
are."
Okay.
Because you think you're not.
Thank you.
Just for that reason.
Well, thank you, but you were warned. So, but thanks.
No, 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 no. This is great. We all learn from each other, all different
Yeah,
kinds of things, and I
yeah,
love it because everything does eventually tie into everything. It
yeah.
all works. It
All
all
connected.
works. So, all right, let's go to the next thing. Golden Globes, right?
Mm.
I don't know if you got a chance to watch this. I watched a lot of it,
Couldn't watch the
and
whole thing. Couldn't watch the whole thing.
no, I could
No.
not. Could
Okay.
not.
You have your
I'm not
limit.
really an awards guy
Me
because
neither.
most of the time I'm not happy,
Yeah, yeah.
and I was a little disappointed in some of the things.
Hmm.
Now, with that being said, a lot of the things that won I haven't seen.
Hmm.
So, my job is this week is to watch some of these
You're gonna
things,
catch
right?
up. Okay.
Got to catch up. So, it was heavily leaning towards Shogun, um, the um, the Brutalist, Baby Reindeer, and Amelia Perez. Those were nominated in just about everything
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and won just about everything.
yeah.
So it was those, and I gotta be honest, haven't seen any of them. Now I've heard great things about Shogun, and
Hmm.
I intend on watching that. So that is probably first on my list.
Hmm.
So with that being said, first off, Ted Danson won the Carol Burnett Award. What is the Carol Burnett Award? I had to look this up too because I didn't know what the heck this was.
Uh,
Um, Contributions to TV, blah blah blah.
in the course of a career. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So Ted Danson won that.
how many great things has Ted Danson done? If all he did was Cheers,
Right.
that's something to stand on, right? But when you look at the breadth of his work on TV,
Yeah.
and
He's
still
done a good
going,
job.
yeah,
Yeah, he's still going. He's
yeah,
in a show now. I don't
yeah,
remember what the
yeah.
name of it is, but
I forgot the
You
name. I
know,
saw it on Netflix. I saw the whole thing. I forgot the name.
yeah,
It's well written and he's quite good. It's very entertaining.
yeah. He's actually a pretty decent actor after
Yeah,
all of these years, right?
yeah, yeah. It,
He's won Emmys.
yep. Listen, I loved
So,
him on Curb Your Enthusiasm too.
oh,
I mean, God,
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
perfect.
So he won that, and then Viola Davis, Rhode Island's own
Viola
Viola
Davis.
Davis,
I worked with her
who's a
once.
great actress.
Very talented. In 19, was it 95? She was emerging. She was in the early part of her stage
Yep,
career. It was August Wilson's Seven Guitars. It was being done at the Huntington Theater. I mentioned this because it's all New England. It was in Boston, and I was the newly assigned publicist there, and
yeah,
that's where I got to meet her and work with her, and you could tell right away what a striking
just
talent.
pure
Yeah,
talent,
yeah, yeah. And
pure
she
talent.
and she and her body of work too. On film, on
Goes without
stage.
saying. I
Yeah.
mean, this is
Yeah.
why she won the Cecil B. DeMille Award
Ah,
for contributions toward the world of entertainment.
mm, amen. Hey, her autobiography is worth reading, and it talks about her life in Rhode Island. It's a compelling, stunning story, and she's very candid, and it speaks to a lot of the good and a lot of the not so good about Rhode Island. But it's worth a read for anyone. So,
Absolutely.
congratulations to Viola Davis.
Yeah, so that was, some of those. And then Amelia Perez, like I said, like cleaned up a lot of the stuff. It won for best musical or comedy movie.
Hmm.
It also gave Zoe Saldana, who I love,
Yeah, she's terrific.
supporting actress. She won for that. And it also was selected as the best foreign language film.
Mm.
So, which is kind of funny because I think like 40% of the country has got to be, you know, Hispanic.
Well, gotta be.
So,
It's
how
gotta
foreign is it?
That's funny.
But it did win for foreign film. Let me
Interesting
see if
point,
there's
Ron.
anything else. I think that's it for Amelia Perez. Let's see if I can find number 4. Demi Moore. Oh,
Nice
how
moment
can
for
I
Demi
forget?
Moore. Yeah.
She won for best actress in a musical or comedy movie, The Substance,
Mm.
and she's now in Landman with Billy Bob Thornton.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
I watched the first couple of episodes of that. That is pretty good.
It's intense.
It
I
is
was
intense.
I was hooked into that because I heard John Hamm was in it. I'm like, all right, John
Yes,
Hamm's we got to watch it. But
not him.
it's intense, and well,
Yep,
it's a nice moment for Demi Moore. She's sort of coming into a nice, I
coming
won't say
back,
coming into
right?
her own, but she's
Yeah,
in the playing field again.
yeah. I
And
think I think it was one of those things. It's like as a female, she was one of the top females. Back in the day, right?
yeah,
80s, 90s, I guess.
mhm, yeah,
So she was one of the top grossing females.
yeah,
And then she kind of like faded away for a while. And I think it was because she needed to find an identity at the age she's at.
yeah. It,
And
it's
she looks fabulous.
Yeah, no, she's an attractive woman for sure. She's in great shape, and
Yep.
it's hard to sustain a career. Think about other careers, not performing arts. You have
Yeah.
20 years is a good career, but these people, 30,
Yeah.
40, 50 years, and there's other people coming into their own, and it's hard to
Right.
find that
Right.
that work. And unfortunately, I don't think there should be any kind of shame. Like, well, where's she been? I guess she's all washed up. It's like, well, look, she's got a body of work that's impressive, whether you like it or not. You
Right.
have to acknowledge, what she's done, and that's enough. But more power
I
to
think
her.
she's had a
And
great career.
yeah, and
Yes.
if she's finding projects now, good for her. And I hope that all actors of a certain age, whether they're celebrities or not, can find meaningful work for themselves at this age. But good for her.
Yeah. I mean, she proved that she's still viable, right?
Yeah, yeah.
She wins for Best Actress. That's proof right there.
Yeah.
That's all you need. She's
Mind you,
fantastic. Oh,
mind you, she's no Viola Davis. Let's be
no, no,
no,
no, no, no, no, no,
no.
no.
I say that tongue in cheek. Viola Davis is a rare
No,
talent.
she's not.
I'm not looking to dunk on Demi Moore. I just thought I wanted to give another
Yeah, no.
plug to
Viola
Viola
Davis is
Davis.
Viola Davis, right?
Yeah, yeah. She stands alone. She stands with Meryl
Yes.
Streep. There you go. There we
Right. That's the two right there.
yeah.
Wicked won for cinematic and box office achievement.
That's an
This is
interesting
one
award.
I had a problem with. This is one
Okay.
I had a problem with
All right.
because I don't know if this movie did as good as, say Inside Out 2.
Interesting. Do
And
they think Inside Out 2 made more money? I don't know what the box office research is. They think it
Inside
might.
Out made more money than any other movie
That
this in
that is
2024.
amazing. That is amazing.
Way more. It's not even close.
Not even close. Interesting.
Not even close. Like 400 million more than Deadpool and Wolverine,
Wow.
right?
You got to
So,
take your hat off to Pixar. They can craft a good story.
yes, and see, the thing I have a problem with this is
Okay.
like it wins for cinematic and box office achievement, okay?
Okay.
So when you say box office achievement, you would think it has to do good, right?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think this movie did that great.
Wow.
I don't know the exact numbers on Wicked, but it didn't last very long in the theaters because I'm already watching it on TV,
Oh yeah, it's here. It's in our living
right?
room.
So Inside Out 2 raked in over $1.3 billion,
Wow.
right?
Wow.
Raked it in.
Yeah.
And to top it all off, it was such a heartwarming story.
Yeah.
How does it not win this category? I don't
Mhm.
understand it. I don't understand it. Somebody please explain that to me
I
because it isn't fair that they just wanted to give this movie something
yeah.
because it was losing in every other category.
Interesting. You know what? It all goes down to their definition of cinematic achievement. It's a weird combination. Box office is pretty objective. You just look at the
Yeah.
numbers and see who achieved what and at what level. Cinematic achievement, I don't know what the definition is, but I guess the people voting leaned in on that aspect of the award.
Yeah.
But
I
now,
don't think it was that good. I watched it yesterday
okay,
and I'm like, why is this so hyped up? I'm like, and maybe it's me. I might be comparing it to The Wizard of Oz. I
mhm,
don't know, but I didn't like it. I thought maybe the music was okay, but it was like okay because it's Ariana Grande in it, so they're making her sing everything.
yeah,
So this to me was like Joker 2.
mm,
Like,
okay,
and I absolutely hated that movie. And I thought the singing was kind of blah in that movie, and I thought it was kind of blah in this one as well.
interesting.
And I know what kind of a story it is supposed to be. All right, so now I'm thinking, okay, it doesn't measure up to what it's supposed to be. I'm not saying it was supposed to be Wizard of Oz. It's supposed to be something else, and I get that. But it was so I don't know. I think it was just done so silly
Mm,
and just like the music was just forced on us. It just didn't seem smooth like it should have been, and
mm,
I don't think this movie deserved to get anything.
anything.
It shouldn't even have been
Okay.
nominated in my book.
Well, okay,
Like
okay.
I did not like the movie, and I don't know. Maybe it's subconscious about the Wizard of Oz. I don't know, but I
Mhm,
didn't like it. I didn't care for it. Now if I compare it to a movie of this time that was supposed to be the same kind of thing, it's a prequel, right?
mhm,
I compare it to Wonka with Timothy Chalamet. Now
okay.
that movie should have won many awards.
Having not seen Wonka, was Wonka a prequel? It wasn't just a remake of
Yes,
Willy
it
Wonka?
is a
Oh,
prequel.
interesting. Oh, now I have to watch it. Okay, all
It
right.
was fantastic, and Timothy Chalamet like embodied Gene Wilder.
Mm,
Like he was
interesting.
really good in this movie, and I enjoyed it so much.
Interesting.
And to me, Wicked didn't do that. It didn't do for me what Wonka did. And I was so disappointed in the movie.
Hmm.
And it's 2 parts, unfortunately.
Oh
So,
yeah, that
um,
was the other thing, right? When it was all over,
yeah,
people were like, "Huh? What? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah."
So I don't know. I didn't care for it. So that was a letdown for me. But like I said, Baby Reindeer got a couple. It took best miniseries or TV film, and it also gave Jessica Gunning supporting female actor from a musical or whatever.
Mhm.
Uh, and and I don't really mention much about what people wear.
However,
However, she had the world's worst dress. World's worst ever I've ever seen. And I've seen some pretty bad
the
ones.
rare ones.
This
Uh,
had these ruffles that I don't know what the hell she was thinking. I don't know what she was thinking wearing this thing.
she,
It was probably, some designer says, "Hey, I want to make you a dress
yeah,
and sign
sure,
a contract, and then you
yeah,
have to wear it," kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It reminded me. Now, it didn't look anything like it. Remember the episode where Jerry Seinfeld had to wear a pirate shirt,
Yes, yes, the poofy shirt, the
the
poofy
puffy
shirt.
shirt,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, classic.
It was kind of like that. It was awful.
Hmm.
And you just have to go look and take. But what I should have did is instead of putting that Golden Globe there,
You
should
put a
have put her
picture.
in the dress
Yeah,
there
yeah.
because no, no, it was awful. Like it was like she was in some sort of like uh, bushes and stuff like that, and her head was sticking up above it, and it was like, oh my god, come on, didn't work for me. Let me tell you.
Mm,
Um, and then of course Shogun, like Shogun cleaned up, like
mm,
it cleaned up. So, if I can find it on my list, so Shogun won
mhm.
for best actor, best female actor, and best male supporting actor. It also won for best TV drama.
Okay, well,
So it got 4 out of you know like 5
did
of the
not
major.
win a costume award. Nothing. No costume award.
They didn't do any of that stuff.
Okay.
At least
Well,
not on air.
interesting. Which is one of the reasons why I sort of got disgusted with award shows because design elements, which I'm interested in, they don't necessarily get the airtime. So
Yeah, so they don't get the airtime because that's not the glamour stuff, right?
yeah, yeah,
You always want to know who wins the actor, actress,
yes, yes.
who wins for the best show or movie. It isn't any of those things. That like I actually had a friend here that was watching it with me, a- and he was like, "Don't they do stuntmen?" And
Oh,
I'm like, "I'm
that's
sure they do. You just don't see it on TV."
I'm not sure if they do, but that would be they should honor the stunt people for sure. That would
Yeah,
be a great best stunt
absolutely.
or stunt design. Yeah, why not? Why not? It's a
Yes.
big part of it.
Yeah, it
More and
is.
more
Like
so.
all
Yeah,
the aspects
yeah,
of movies and TV, there has to be somebody doing these things and
yeah,
they should
yeah.
all be recognized.
Yes.
I mean, I get you're not going to air it on TV, but at least have something for it,
Hmm.
Like the boom mics. Who's the best boomer? You
Okay.
got to do it. You got to do it. Everybody
You're
needs love.
you're drilling down deep. Okay. Uh,
What are those? The gaffers, the one
yeah,
that
best
puts like
gaffers.
the tape on there.
How about best craft services table. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Even that assistant that goes and gets you the coffee.
Yeah. That
So, Mark, thank you
good.
for watching. I see you out there, Mark Rush. I see you.
Okay.
Um, Look, and then the only other thing that I didn't like was Flow won for animated film. Of
Yeah,
course, I really truly believe that Inside Out 2 should have won. If
I have to
not,
tell
then Wild Robot.
yeah. I didn't see Flow. I'm gonna have to watch it. I'm partial to Pixar, and Inside Out 2 was very good. I'm also a big Nick Fark fan, and usually, when he's got something up there, he usually even trounces Disney. He's a great
Yeah.
filmmaker, and
Yeah.
I was so happy to see a new Wallace and Gromit. Haven't seen Flo, but I would have been
Yeah. It's on
more
my
happy
list.
more
It's
happy
on my list.
with
But it better
Inside
be
Out
damn
2.
good if it
Yes,
beat out
yes.
Inside Out 2 and
Maybe
Wild
it only
Robot.
maybe, and sometimes people they're not voting by consensus; they're casting ballots, and maybe something like Inside Out 2 and the Wallace and Gromit film were sort of splitting the votes, and then Flo came in with just one more than one of those other ones, and if they're you know
Yeah, that's possible.
so
That's
some things like
possible.
that happen. You don't know, but again, my biases are always to Nick Park and Disney Pixar. So
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. So
Like
that kind of sums up what happened. Jodie Foster and Colin Farrell also took home a Golden Globe. Colin Farrell for The Penguin, which is fantastic. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah. Good work. Yeah. They're both
I
very
didn't
good.
know it was a mini series, and that was that. And you know, but
Still, where's
now I
Burgess
know
Meredith's?
I got one more episode, so I have to wonder. I hope they tie all this up and done in one episode
Fingers
and
crossed.
not leave it hanging.
Forever. I wish Burgess Meredith got a Golden Globe for The Penguin way back
Oh,
then.
he's the man.
Yeah. Different Penguin. Different.
Oh, I love him as Penguin.
Yeah.
I loved him.
He
Loved
was
him.
great.
And of course on Rocky.
Yeah. Oh my God. You're a bum, Rock. You're a bum. He was
Exactly.
great.
Exactly. All right, so that's the Golden
That's
Globes recap.
nice one.
You know, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
It's an award show. See, we gotta have our own award show.
Ah, there you go. That's a thought. Yeah. Best topic, best top 5, best comment by Kenny, for the year. Yeah.
Disrespectful.
Disrespect.
Where is Kenny? What the heck? Where are you? Where are you? It's Monday. He works.
Oh, that old
It's
excuse.
Monday, so he
Okay.
won't be here. So he will miss the top 5. Ooh,
Okay.
boy. I'm gonna have to tell him about it. All right, so it's time for a little bit of crystal ball.
Okay.
Speaking of like globes, so we go from a globe
Right.
to a crystal ball.
I might speed this up because then we're running long, and I want to get to your
I
top
don't.
5,
Oh
but
wow, we are, huh?
yeah. So let's just say that I don't believe in psychic powers at all, and I have a fair amount of disdain and contempt for people claiming to be psychics because I think they harm people. But I am amused by them, and I am amused by just how terrible their predictions are. So what I thought I would do is look at some psychic predictions from last year for 2024 and see where they landed, and then I'll make a couple for myself. And but I'll go through this quickly. There are so many psychics out there. I just picked one. This guy, he's on YouTube, Psychic Medium Ray. And I don't mean to single him out as being any better or worse than any of the others. I think Ray is fairly typical of the psychic experience. But for celebrities, he predicted that in 2024, Taylor Swift may become pregnant after her tour, but she may get pregnant in the next 2 years. And I'm like, what kind of prediction is that? Taylor Swift might get pregnant in 2 years. That's his. So if it doesn't happen in 2020, he's got another year. But a woman of a certain age who may want a family, who is dating someone, may get pregnant. You don't have to be a psychic for that. Okay.
No.
He did predict that J-Lo and Ben Affleck would split or divorce, and I believe
doesn't
that
that happen every year? They just
Right.
did last year.
I think yeah, and he predicted that for 2024. He did this in late 2023 for 2024, and that did happen. But again, do you really need to be a psychic to divine that maybe J-Lo and Ben Affleck, maybe things aren't going to work out with those two kids? But all right, fair is fair. Elon Musk, he predicted that Elon is going to continue to grow his empire over the next 2 years. I'm like, whoa, where could he have possibly gotten the sense of that? Donald Trump, he predicted he will not go to prison but that
No
could
kidding.
change. Now, what? All right, no, he's not going to prison, but maybe he will. But he does not predict that Donald Trump is going to win the presidency.
No,
I would
of
think
course not.
if you're a self-respecting psychic who's claiming, accuracy, you come up with something a little better that maybe he goes to jail, but then maybe he doesn't, and ignore the fact that he's going to win. So, what else? He did make election predictions, and and for his election prediction, who was going to win the presidency, made no particular prediction. So there we go. He said that Senator Joe Biden would be in poor health, which would be a struggle for him in winning re-election. And as it turned out, President Biden was not even the candidate. So he missed that one. Let's see. He predicted earthquakes in Mexico and Indonesia. And
But they always get them.
right, exactly. Okay. And then he predicted warmer and colder temperatures. So there.
Oh, that's good.
And also the COVID virus will mutate. Again, do you need to be a psychic to predict? So
wait a minute. How many views does this guy get?
Look, more than I'm getting on my right. And so I'm thinking I should go into the psychic business to get more views.
That's what I'm saying. It's
All
like
right.
I predict things really well.
Yeah. So I'm going to make some of these vague, run-of-the-mill and predictions that you don't need to be a psychic, but if you just read the news, that you might be able to figure out that this is something that is plausible. Okay, so here we go. I'm predicting. You've got it right here. You heard it here first. That the H5N1 bird flu will mutate so that human-to-human transmission is possible. By the way, I'm hoping that doesn't come true. And I'm predicting it. I'm going to predict that Donald Trump's tariffs backfire and prices in the U.S. rise dramatically. I'm going to go with Psychic Ray and say that the COVID-19 virus continues to mutate. That was one of his too.
Yeah, of course.
And here's a prediction I made, and then I found out I listened to a show. It's already happened. I was going to predict that there were going to be delays in the Artemis Moon project, but that's already happened. They've already pushed back the earliest this is going to happen. That was April of 2026. So I don't know if I can use that. And in 2025, I predict psychically that there will be continued unrest in the Middle East and Ukraine. There, I mean, it's all, it's not me. I'm just a conduit. I get these visions from a higher power. It's nothing I'm doing. All right. But I'm also going to make some bolder ones. Okay. Because if these come true, then we'll know that Martin really is psychic. So this first one I'm going to dedicate to you, Ron. I'm predicting that the New York Yankees are going to go undefeated in 2025. But yes, they're going to, it's my psychic prediction, but they will be eliminated in the playoffs. There you go. If that happens.
They're not winning 162 games.
Yeah. Look, I just have the vision. They're going to go undefeated.
Okay.
Okay.
That's bold.
Okay. Exactly. Aliens will land in China and they will inadvertently kill many innocent Chinese people with a virus that affects Chinese people, but American citizens have a built-in immunity for. It's just I'm not wishing that happens. Let me be clear. It's just the vision I have. This is the vision I have. It comes to me. I'm going to predict, that there will be no earthquakes in Japan in 2025 because any idiot can predict, there's going to be earthquakes in Japan. I am going to predict in 2025 there will be no earthquakes in Japan. Now, if any of these things happen,
now that one is one that,
yeah,
I like that one.
I like that one. If any of these happen, you heard it here first, and we'll see what happens with the Yankees. We'll watch, but they're not going to win the World Series.
So that guy. Did he predict? Because I can predict that there will be a terrorist attack in 2025.
Exactly. Anyone can predict these vague general things.
Eventually, there'll be a COVID-20.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there'll be enough mutations. I hope not to see it, but there we go. Well, that's it. Either they're vague or they have wiggle room.
I do like that, though.
Yeah.
I do like that.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good one.
Thank you.
Pretty good.
Rest assured, though, I knew you'd be upset by the Yankees going undefeated, but they're not going to win the series. They'll be out. Maybe it's the
Well, I
Red
know that
Sox.
was not going to come true. So, and they will get eliminated in the playoffs. We know that's true.
Maybe by the Sox. I don't know. I hope not.
Yeah, I doubt it. I doubt it.
There we go. So,
all right, I'll brush through these real quick because I want to do this just to piss off Kenny.
Sorry, Kenny.
Because I know he'll watch it later. So, Ron's top 5 Golden Globes best drama movie.
Okay.
Movie drama. That's a little backwards, I think. So there's been a lot of great movies. Oppenheimer, Nomadland, The Social Network, The Revenant, so many. Titanic, E.T. These have all won the Golden Globes. The Godfather, Guns of Navarone, and a whole bunch of them, right?
All good movies, for sure. Great movies.
Sure. So my honorable mentions are The Godfather, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Okay.
Babel, Brad Pitt. I love that movie.
Which one? Which movie?
Babel.
Okay. Yes, I've seen it. Yes. And I have seen it. Okay. Good one.
Oh, so good. Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah. Okay.
And Platoon. All on my honorable mentions.
Okay.
Number 5, I have Saving Private Ryan. Okay. How's that one, Kenny? How's that one for you? I know he does not agree with that.
Kenny doesn't like Saving Private Ryan.
He doesn't think it's a top 5-er.
Okay.
Because I had Saving Private Ryan in one of my lists before.
Okay.
I love the movie. I think it's a great war movie.
Yes, it is.
Number 4, I have Rocky.
It's a great movie, and you and I remember when it first came out. You can look at it today and maybe not realize all the sublime beauty in it and the excitement, but it's a movie. It's an excellent movie.
It is, and it did win an Oscar that year too.
It did. That was the best film. Yeah.
Yes. It also won that Golden Globe as well. Yeah. Number 3, I have as Avatar. I just thought the movie was well crafted. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic, and it was visually pleasing. If that means anything.
Ron, then you need to get to Disney World and go to the Animal Kingdom to ride their Flights of Passage, ride a Banshee. It is a magnificent ride. It is visually pleasing. It's 7 minutes of bliss and excitement, maybe the best ride in the parks. So if you're an Avatar
fan, I did not know they had that.
Oh yeah, you were riding a Banshee. It is magnificent.
Oh, I got to do that.
Next level. All right.
So I have that at number 3. Number 2, Forrest Gump. Love that movie. Love it. I just thought it was so clever how they tied everything in through history with Forrest Gump. It was great, especially like the Elvis part, and when they didn't have the segregation in that school, and like the whole thing. It was a joy to watch.
Yeah,
it was a joy to watch. I've seen it a million times.
Pairs well with Platoon. There you go. Nice double feature.
Exactly. See? And number 1, I would never not put this at number 1. Lord of the Rings: Return of the King.
Why Return?
Now, I like the second one better, but that wasn't the winner. It didn't win, nor did Fellowship of the Ring.
Okay.
This is the only one that won the Golden Globe.
It's the only one eligible to be in your...
Exactly, because if the other two did, it would be 1, 2, and 3, then the rest, and then it wouldn't be as fun.
Sure, makes sense.
So,
Ron's a good list. I only take a question one choice. For me, any top 5 list with movies, The Godfather is never an honorable mention. The Godfather is in the top 5 and usually number 1.
It was number 6 on my list. So
okay.
It was the Bubble movie. I have it written down, and then it's crossed off, and then written down and crossed off. I was fighting with myself between the two movies.
Well, that's the only thing I would take issue with. But again, it's quality list. All outstanding movies for sure.
Yeah. So I enjoy it, and like I said, I am going to right after this show. I'm going and I'm going to start watching some Shogun and the rest of the things that I haven't seen, just to make sure that they got it right.
Yeah, no, it's good that you stay on top of them. There we
That's
I'll be
right.
watching
That's
in the
right.
next month Shogun, and then I wanna see Flow just to see what beat out
Yes, I plan
my
on watching
favorite
that
show.
one as well.
Yeah.
All right, if you liked what you see, then join us on all our social media. Kev Jezag, thank you for joining, and also Mark Rush, I know, was out there as well. Thanks for watching. Join us tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, for Ira and, of course, Becky.
That's a
They will
nice show.
bring us all the stuff that they have, which could be totally different than what we are airing here today.
Let's hope.
I think we had some fun stuff. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Great show. Martin, thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
And we'll see you next time right here on Rhode Island Broadcasting with Going On Daily. Have a
Have a
good day.
great Yeah, everyone have a great day. Bye-bye.